we've seen a lot in years past of mixed metals, doing different trends of mixed metals. And this morning we've seen a lot of mixed woods, which is really pretty. Wood finishes being tone on tone in the past, and now we're seeing, the chocolates and the ivory colors being mixed together, and just different compositions, which is really great. We're seeing a lot more soft edges. For a while it was very structured, very geometric, a lot of angles, and now we're seeing those angles still there, but then just creating soft curvature and some arches and things like that, it's really beautiful. It just softens the tone and doesn't feel, so sterile.
Any surprising look that's emerging in home decor?
We've seen a lot of harvest gold color. I know. So
we were coming back to the 70s.
Right, that's what I said.
Avocados.
Yes, and I said, I don't know if I can get down with it. I don't know if I can, because maybe that's just my generation, but I can see the comeback in it, and there's always comebacks. Fashion, furniture, our industry, there's always a comeback, but they just change it up slightly, give it a little difference to it so that it's now 2024 instead of the 70s.
Surprisingly, I'm seeing a resurgence back to color, and we're talking full out color, so cabinetry, full wall color. People are really embracing it in a way. It's almost giving mod 70s, which I love. I'm a color girl, as you can see. I'm bold and bright, and so we saw it kind of creep in after COVID with the walls, and people were playing more with it in their textiles and textures. But now this full out love of it and mixing it in multiple colors. So you might see cabinet fronts painted in different colors and textured floors, and then you have your patterned countertops. So full burst, full out is what I'm loving. Texture is also a big thing, right? Boucle, I've been telling everybody I fell in love with boucle a couple of years ago, and I feel like that texture, that naturalism is still on trend right now. People want to feel cozy. People want to feel like they're getting a warm hug.
So far we're going into very much terracottas, warm colors. Some of the woods are coming back. So the warm woods that we haven't seen for a long time, like the dark woods, are really coming back into play, because I think people are done with the cold and the gray.
That is really interesting, because gray has been so ubiquitous for years in interior design. What is the most surprising interior design look that you're seeing?
A lot of pink. People are putting pink, and the old wallpapers are coming back, the toiles and the big florals, which is surprising that it's coming back in fabric and in wall coverings.
Any idea why?
I think people are liking going back in time. So we were in, I think the 70s for a while, and the mid-century modern before that. And it's just going on trend to going into more of the 80s and the 90s.
I'm seeing a lot more color coming back from the gray and boring neutrals that have been around forever, which will always be around, but a lot more color coming back, a little boldness in the patterns, and sustainability is a big factor too. Wood that is sourced responsibly, fabrics that are made naturally, furniture that's glued together without products that are going to emit VOCs that would impact our environment at home.
So I'm seeing a lot of great texture, lots of mixed materials with the woods and the metals and different metals. They're just mixing it all up, I think, on one single piece, which is really good, and it adds richness, and it's interesting and it's different. So that I'm seeing a little retro going back. Not really an Art Deco, but somewhere in there, I'm seeing those styles coming back, which I thought was really interesting. And then every chair in the world is a swivel. Seriously. We've been in the grays a long time. We don't need to be in the grays ever again. But I had expected, and I did, I'm a color person, so I had expected them to come out with bold colors, and they're not doing that. It's very subtle. So I'm seeing a lot of sort of muted colors.
What has been the most surprising emerging look that you're discovering?
I think probably the excess of pattern, just that boldness of florals everywhere, just having no bounds. It's a boundless energy. Is when you walk by showrooms, you just see this energy of color and pattern and splashes. It really is almost maximalist, but with grandmotherly love. So, I think there's that trend of people wanting to feel comfort, and they're remembering their grandmother's floral balances that they had in their home and wanting to recreate that, but bringing a youthful, energetic vibe to that.
So we're seeing a lot of, of course, everything's LED. It's not only for an energy basis, but for control. And we're seeing a lot of dim warm technology where something is a certain color temperature, and as it dims and moves lower into the lower output, it gets warmer, much like an incandescent lamp would do. The technology is there, the controllability is there. It's really a cool new way of lighting a space. We're able to use apps that control those. We're able to use power over Ethernet. We don't even have to use line voltage anymore. We can save an enormous amount of energy and labor for installation by using a simple Cat5 cable to install product.
How is this different from what's out there in the marketplace? There are lots of warranty programs out there for furniture.
Sure. Well, this has very unique features. Most consumers, you and I included, every time we go and buy something, some yard equipment, a car, an appliance, or whatever it might be, electronics, typically during the checkout process, we're offered some sort of a protection plan. This plan is completely different than those type of plans because our plan is unique in that it protects the customer against themselves. It protects the client against things that they did to it. So for example, it was their puppy that peed on it. It was their glass of wine. It was their Diet Coke. These have nothing to do with the quality of the furniture or defects, which is really what the other type of programs offer. Ours is really an oops and accident program. So our program is really unique because it's crafted really to protect the guest against things that they did, oopses and accidents, versus handing the retailer some money in case it's a lemon or there's some sort of an issue. It's really a win-win for the customer. It's a win-win for the designer. So I would highly recommend that they look at Risk Assurance Partners as their source for a furniture protection program.